Hello, guys, and welcome back to Paint the Town Dead. This is one half of your host, Caitlin.
I'm the other one.
Hello, other one.
Mandrew.
Mandrew.
That's right. The one.
Flim Flam Mandrew. What did we ever decide for that?
Flim Flam Mandrew.
Flim Flam Mandrew?
Yeah.
So not Flim Flam Drew?
No.
Although that would go very well.
I like the other one better.
Flim Flam Mandrew.
Flim Flam Man becomes Flim Flam Mandrew.
This was from an episode very far back. I don't even remember which episode. Who were we talking about?
Dr. Becky.
No, it wasn't that far back.
Dr. Becky.
Why? How do you know?
Because that's where we discovered the term.
Flim Flam Man.
Or at least that's where we watched I forget what the show was that covered her case.
Yeah, yes.
And they referred to the guy as a Flim Flam Man.
Flim Flam Man. And then we went to the Crescent Hotel episode, and boy, that guy was a Flim Flam Man.
He sure was.
Anyways, Dr. Becky was one of our first episodes. Crescent Hotel we covered in October.
If I remember correctly, if you ever go back to Dr. Becky, skip ahead like 20 minutes because I think it takes us a long time to get to the actual story.
Yeah, we did big intros back then. We shortened it a lot since then to get to the story faster and save all the good stuff for the end. I'm just kidding.
That's right.
No, just kidding.
You want the good stuff.
You want to listen to us talk about real deal about just absolutely nothing? Cool. We'll save that till the end so you can listen to what you came here for, and that is true crimes committed in the state of Arkansas or having a connection to the state of Arkansas.
I was gonna say sometimes it is. How many have we had that were not in Arkansas at all? Was it just that one?
No, it's been a handful. There was Jennifer Schuett. There was the Buckskin girl. And a couple others, just a handful, but they have a connection to Arkansas. If it was not committed in Arkansas, there is a connection to Arkansas. So that's our base. That's where we lie, and we're sticking to our story. You heard it here.
Okay. It's a good play on words.
Is it? What did I do?
He says where we lie, and we're sticking to our story. And you're sticking to your story. You'd think it was the truth, but you said it's where we lie.
Not lay. Whatever, it doesn't matter. The point is
where we lie.
Point is, this is a show.
There's one lie in every episode. Can you find it?
Is there?
Or was that the lie? Who's to say?
Yeah. So that's what we do. That's what we do here. Thanks for stopping by. We're so glad to have you, neighbor.
I hope this hasn't turned you off.
This isn't our normal introduction.
It's kind of is.
Shh, don't tell them. Don't tell them.
Yeah, so let's get to it.
Okay.
I'm really spinning my wheels here, like I'm stuck in ice.
Which we have been this week.
Snow.
Like
20 inches.
We will talk about that. Wild. It's been wild. You know what? Honestly, though, that was a good call. So Andrew and I recorded very early was it Saturday?
Sunday.
No, Sunday. It was Sunday. Very early in the morning last Sunday. Because he was like, hey, if we don't record now, we probably won't be able to.
For like the whole week.
And Andrew was spot on with that. He was very correct with that.
That's right. Because I get my information from the experts and don't make up my own bull crap.
Is it
meteorologists?
Jacobin or whatever his name is?
All of them.
Okay.
They're all like, hey, it's going to be real bad.
And you know what?
Weird.
We listened. Good job, Andrew. Good job.
That's what I do. So we're going to Hot Springs Village, Arkansas.
I know what this case is.
You might.
It's the one I wanted to cover, but that's okay.
Yeah, suck it.
All right.
I'm the greatest.
Okay.
So we're going to be talking about Dawna Natzke, which I'm pretty sure I pronounced correctly.
Yes.
In your face, Caitlin. She was the mother of 3 sons, a Brandon, Aaron, and Ronnie. She's 46 years old. And this is in 2011, by the way.
Okay.
So this is not one of the Andrew episodes where we go to the 1800s or anything.
Yeah, I'm surprised. This is very modern for you.
That's right. So she was going through a divorce at this time.
Yeah.
She had been married for 20 years, and seemingly out of nowhere, her husband was like, "I'm out."
Wow, I feel that. Not 20 years though.
Yeah. So she's trying to move on in life, as you do.
Yeah.
And she starts a job working as a police dispatcher in Hot Springs. Yeah. And at some point she starts dating.
Hot Springs or Hot Springs Village?
I believe the police department was Hot Springs.
Okay. Which are Hot Springs and Hot Springs Village are 2 different places.
Yes, but they're very close to each other.
Yes.
It's not one of those tricky ones where it's like
Conway isn't in Conway County.
Yeah. In fact, I think Hot Springs Village. So I think it's in 2 counties. I think it's in Garland and Saline or something like that.
Hot Springs Village is?
Yeah.
It kind of borders. It's on 2
Yeah, and Hot Springs itself is in Garland County and
Gotcha.
not Hot Spring County.
So, love that. Gotta love it.
Yeah. It's what you do here in Arkansas.
Truth.
Make it as confusing as possible. So yeah. And she starts dating this guy named Kevin Duck, which is a strange surname.
Duck. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just like the bird. It's spelled exactly like it.
Okay. Not D-U-C with a little tiddly over it.
Yeah, no. It is straight up the bird that every redneck I know goes and shoots.
I hear Southeast Arkansas is a great place for duck hunting.
Yeah, it's towards the west though, more.
I'm just
Hot
saying.
Springs.
I'm saying Southeast.
That is Stuttgart. They have their
that's
duck
like
call thing or whatever.
Renowned duck hunting, which I have never participated in.
I feel like I know or have heard about duck hunting more than any other hunting.
Not even like deer hunting?
I feel like that.
I think
don't
it's
know.
like such a sport in Arkansas, duck hunting is.
Maybe so. I just know if it flies, it dies. That's the thing they say.
Oh my god!
You can't shoot them while they're on the ground. You got to wait till they fly.
Why is that?
Because the fun of it, I don't really know.
Is it like inhumane to shoot them while they're in the water?
Maybe. It's maybe it's considered unfair, and also it's part of the fun of like I'm gonna shoot it while it's in the sky.
You know what's more fun than shooting a living thing that's flying? Skeet shooting. Have you ever done that?
Nope.
It's pretty fun.
But you can't eat skeet. I think I broke the pot, Caitlin.
Okay, let's go on. Let's continue. Oh my god!
I didn't even think about it for a second.
Please let's.
So anyway,
continue.
this Kevin Duck fellow, he is he's 28. He's 18 years her junior.
He's pretty young.
Yeah. He gave her lots of attention. It was all about her. But it goes a little sideways, as most relationships kind of do, to some extent, I guess.
Always the hopeful love. Romantic person you are.
Well, let's consider how many people have you dated in your life?
A few.
Okay, and how many times have you been married?
One.
And how many times do you plan to be married again? Maybe one more.
Maybe.
Yeah, and let's see. I've dated a few, a much smaller few. I'm gonna say. I'm not calling I'm not calling Caitlin a slut. I'm just saying I haven't dated a lot of people.
Okay, but how many of any relationships have worked out? 0.
Most relationships end up not working out.
Yeah, you know what? That's true, and that's not a bad thing because it leads you to the person you're supposed to be with.
And sometimes it's only yourself.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's okay to love yourself.
That's right.
That you have to be okay with that. This is Psychology Corner with Caitlin. It's okay to be just you because you know what? You gotta love you.
I appreciate Caitlin's trying to make me feel better because she knows I'm going to be alone forever.
Shut up.
But yeah, so but it does go sideways in a way that most relationships don't go sideways. Most of them are just like you have some fights or you get bored with each other.
Yeah.
And you're just like I'm
Done,
moving on.
Done. Yeah. So this goes very sour.
They say it turned from less affection and more jealousy. For specifically coming from Kevin Duck here. He
was the jealous type?
Yeah. And a quote from Dawna's mother, Doris, it says, he always had his hand on her leg, rubbing her back, snapping her bra. Very inappropriate.
That's not okay. Don't do that.
Yeah. It sounds like, I mean, if she's knowing this, it's probably happening like basically in public. So it's like, that's not a cool thing. Don't do that. That's like, weird. Why are you being so weird?
That's weird. Don't do that.
And after a while, Dawna like tries to go out of her way to kind of avoid being around him to some extent. Because like
you have to break up, Dawna.
It's very annoying.
Yeah.
And everybody expected that she was going to break up with them. And she didn't. And then one day, he moved in.
What?
He moved in.
Well, that turned a weird corner.
Without her realizing it at first.
I'm sorry, what?
Like she returned home from work and he had moved in.
I'm sorry, that's psycho.
Yes.
That's not okay.
No.
That's weird.
Yes.
Okay.
That's very weird and not a thing that seems like anybody should ever do.
Don't do that. Again, relationship advice corner. Don't pop bras. Don't just move in without telling somebody. These are basics.
That's right. I feel like everybody should
know that.
Like, you don't have to learn that usually.
No,
that's like almost innate.
Then you just know.
So he had moved out of the house he was living in. Like he was out of it. He wouldn't have had keys to go back or anything.
That's so strange.
Yeah. And he kind of tried to win her over with gifts and such.
Okay.
Bought her a car.
Wow. That's a big gift.
So
listen, also, I have feelings about big purchases like that without telling your partner.
Bad.
Weird. Bad. Because you know what?
I think that every time there's those car commercials at Christmas, I'm like,
I would not. If my partner...
Nobody consulted you.
Yeah. If my partner was like, I bought you this car. It's like, I didn't need a car. Who's going to pay this car payment? Are you supposed to trade my car in now? Like, I would not be okay with that. That's a big purchase.
Like there's
unless y'all talked about it before and like...
And I don't get...
I don't think they did. I don't think...
And they certainly don't in those car commercials because those people are surprised.
So surprised.
Especially the one, I think it was GMC, where it's like there's an SUV and a truck in the driveway, like brand new. And the lady, she goes and she's like, oh, I love this, to the truck. Can you believe that? A lady wanted the truck? And the guy's like, oh, I thought... And she's like, I love this. And so he's like, okay, you can,
yes, I
guess you can have the... I'm stuck with this SUV because I didn't talk to you about this beforehand.
If it's a big truck and a big SUV, that's easily $100,000.
The GMCs, maybe? Oh, if they're both
yeah, together? Both together. Yeah. 50. Yeah, I mean, if they're the decked out big Yukons and...
I have no concept of the price of new cars.
Well...
Because I've never been anywhere near where I would even consider buying a new car.
The last new car I bought was in 2015, and it was December 2015. I just graduated RN school, and it was my gift to myself for graduating RN school.
Okay.
And I'm still paying it, so if that tells you anything, I'll be paying it for another couple years.
For all I know, it's like...
Well, I did refinance
for all
it
I know,
one time,
it's
though.
$7, and you're only paying $1 a year. I don't know.
Yes, Andrew.
That could be...
That is how much a car costs.
You provided me no information. I'm having to make my own assumptions about this.
And again, there's another tick. Tick number 3 in Relationship Corner. Don't just buy somebody a car without telling them. That's weird.
That's too much.
Too much. Unless it's just too much. It's just too much.
Unless you're like, I don't know, a bazillionaire. And you can just be like,
here's cash. I'll cash for this.
Check it. Yeah.
Yeah. Sales tax is paid. Like,
I did it.
Yeah.
And we're married and I'm paying the insurance anyway because I'm a bazillionaire.
Exactly.
CEO of something.
That is good. But I have a feeling a 911 dispatcher and whatever Duck guy did.
Kevin Duck.
What I'm going to guess that they did. We're not bazillionaires.
Yeah, I bet nobody who lives in Hot Springs Village is because it's pretty small.
But it's a lot of rich people live there because they have like Gucci golf courses.
There's also like a lot of retired people and stuff.
Yeah, it's nice.
Probably
nice
secret mobsters, if I were to guess. That's my guess.
Maybe
just for fun.
Okay, that's fine.
Because it's near Hot Springs.
I have a friend that lived in Hot Springs Village, and
they were a mobster.
Definitely not 100% no.
They wouldn't want you to know. That's the problem.
Oh,
that's why they're secret mobsters.
Well, when you're right, you're right.
I mean, they didn't. BTK's own family didn't know he was a serial killer.
That's true.
All right, then. So.
Okay.
December 21st, 2011. Dawna and Kevin go to a Christmas party at this other people's house. And they bring along Donna's mother, Doris. They go and pick Doris up. And Doris, she says things don't seem right. Like Dawna seems upset.
Gotcha.
So, they've probably been fighting. Dawna and Kevin.
Probably so.
Kevin seems like a crazy person, and
the relationship doesn't seem good.
No, it seems like a bad time. And they're at the party, they're hanging out, drinking some brewskis maybe, and at about
probably Christmas cider.
Maybe
spiced.
I think one of the articles mentioned Miller Lite. So
oh, okay. Well, that's
it was like more.
It's not very holiday spirit. That's okay.
It comes from Milwaukee. Milwaukee is cold. Christmas cold. There you go. Perfect connection.
Boom.
Nailed it.
Roasted.
Nailed it. So About 10:30, Donna's mother, Doris, she notices that Kevin and Dawna are not there anymore.
Straight up left?
They just left.
And left Doris there?
Left Doris there. They were her ride. So Doris is, I guess, like,
can I have a ride?
Cool. But also, she notices that Donna's purse is still there.
That's weird.
Isn't it? And a friend calls Donna's phone. Doesn't receive an answer. But
is it in her purse?
No.
Okay.
Don't believe so. No, definitely isn't actually.
Okay.
Because she gets a text message back, which was weird. She did not text much. She wouldn't have texted her friend back. She normally would have called back. And she received a text message from Dawna that basically said she left the party because she took a pain pill, allegedly, and it was messing her up.
Whoa.
And also, it was like misspelled and stuff. Like, it seemed very haphazard again.
Very un-Dawna-like.
Yeah. Yeah. So, a little strange. The next day, December 22nd, early in the morning, nobody thinks anything's happened. Everything seems fine as far as they know.
Did Doris get home?
I assume Doris must have gotten home, or maybe they just let her crash there. I don't know. They're like,
you can crash here, Doris.
We got some more Miller Lights, Doris. You want to knock them back and just hang out for a bit? I don't know. I'm sorry, Doris.
What do you do?
Maybe so. I'm sure she probably
got taken care of somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
She was still around for all of this, so she did okay. She got somewhere. She got home somehow at some point.
She was safe.
I assume.
Okay.
And Donna's son Brandon, he wakes up around 5:45 a.m., which is
too early.
I agree. Isn't that how early you wake up, or earlier?
I wake up at 5.
There you go.
But I also have to be at the hospital by 6:30. So
there you go. So this is usually when Dawna would leave for work, and he notices her car is still in the driveway.
What about Kevin's? Where's his car?
I don't know, but I think they would have taken Donna's car to the thing to start with, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
But he saw the car was still in the driveway, and at around 6 a.m., so about 15 minutes later, her car is seen driving through town, supposedly towards her office.
So somebody got in her car and drove it away?
Yeah, and she never arrives at work.
That's weird.
It sure is. So, now we're going to talk a little more about Mr. Kevin Duck here.
Okay.
Turns out he's a bad guy.
Well, I kind of got that vibe.
Yeah. I mean, the whole moving in out of nowhere thing.
In the car,
and the
popping bra straps. Just weird.
So, he had been married twice before.
Hey, sounds like somebody else I know.
Pretty sinful.
Mm-hmm.
Only a bad person would do something like that.
Calm down.
No. No, that's not why he's bad. Though why he ended up being married twice is probably why he's bad. We'll get into it.
Okay.
Because he was abusive to both of his former wives.
Well, that's pretty bad.
Yeah. He was only married to his first wife for 6 months.
That's not very long.
No. And his second wife, not only did he beat her, but he beat their kids too.
No. They had children together?
Yeah.
Oh my, no.
Fun story. By fun, I mean terrible and awful and horrifying. He dragged the second wife down the stairs while she was pregnant, like beat her and threw her into a van and drove off somewhere and then kicked her out of the van just off the middle of nowhere.
She was pregnant?
Yeah.
What an awful person.
And so they had like a 2-year-old daughter, and he slapped her so hard she flew across the room once.
The 2-year-old?
Yes.
Oh, that makes me angry.
Hey, you're going to get angrier in just a second.
Okay.
Because I made sure this escalated in a way when I wrote this down.
Of course you did.
Be excited.
Okay.
It's called storytelling, Caitlin.
I'm ready.
Because he also beat that same 2-year-old daughter with a PVC pipe.
How was he not arrested?
I don't know how he didn't get arrested on that situation. But
poor baby.
Those two obviously separated.
Thank God.
But eventually got back together.
No.
But then she left again.
Yay.
Because her parents were like, you need to choose between him or your children, because that's not a not an okay situation for them to be in.
Not at all. That's so sad.
So she got out.
How can you beat a child like that? Disgusting.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
And he was also violent towards his brother and sister from a young age, supposedly starting when he was only 7 years old.
What'd he do?
He would, like, beat them and stuff.
Oh,
One time, this is a weird one, he faked his own suicide by going to his bedroom with a shotgun and shooting it. Like, acting like he was going to kill himself.
What happened to this guy?
I don't know.
Wow.
And one time, this is when he was with his first wife, I believe. The wording was weird in the article. But I believe his brother and sister basically like tried to get him to stop beating his first wife.
Oh, good.
So his brother woke up to Kevin holding a gun to him, and then later got into an altercation, we'll say, where he beat his brother and sister with a 3-foot jack handle.
What's that?
It's like a handle for a jack, like putting up a car.
Oh, okay.
But 3 feet, that's huge.
That is big.
Beat his sister so badly she ended up in the hospital. And
did he have charges?
yes, for this one.
Okay.
He would be convicted of aggravated assault in 2009, sentenced to 5 years probation.
That's it?
Yes.
So.
Okay. Does seem like you should get more for the jack handle beating.
I mean, like, that was like aim death. Like, that was the goal almost. Like, I mean, you don't attack somebody with a 3-foot piece of metal to just, teach them a lesson. That's death worthy.
Yeah, a belt is a lesson teacher.
Yeah.
And even then, I didn't learn any lessons. That's the thing.
I learned nothing.
I always hate when I see like Facebook memes where it's like, back in my day, we got spanked, and that's why we learned respect. And it's like, I know you. You are one of the worst people I've ever met.
You're a terrible person.
Either the spanking didn't help, or you need to be spanked a lot more. I don't know.
Harder, with more force.
But yeah, so I was just like, I got spanked as a kid. Guess what? I'm still terrible.
I'm still an awful person.
I'm still the worst. Sometimes it would make me want to be even worse.
Yeah, you're like,
I was like,
beat me again.
Like, oh, I'll show you. I'll show you
what bad really is.
That's right. That's how I thought. And then usually I'd forget about it and not do anything important. But, spanking, I don't know. Probably not any good.
Yeah.
But, so it's a little strange. Nobody seems to know where Dawna is. Her sons start calling up her friends, trying to see if they had heard from her.
Just a guess here. Kevin seems like a bad dude to be around, and you're going missing, so...
Right. Brandon, one of her sons, talked to Kevin, asked him when they had gotten home from the party, and Kevin claimed it was around 10:30 or 11. Brandon knows that ain't true.
Why? How?
Because he was up until at least midnight and lived in that same house at the time.
And he knew.
So he was like, that's not true.
You're telling a lie, so let's try this again.
I don't think he said that to him, probably just because, I don't know.
Good call.
He may have. If he did, I don't know. So the sons, they go to her work as a police dispatcher.
Yes.
Make sure she's not there. And of course, she's not there.
Yeah.
And so the police are involved now because she's obviously officially missing, essentially. And, she's a coworker. They all know her. Small town.
Yeah.
Small-ish town.
Yeah.
Not super big town, I guess. So they start interviewing people from the party. At one point, they find a woman who lived nearby who said she heard a scream and the sound of a car like driving away really fast.
It's like speeding off, like peeling out.
Yeah, burning rubber is the term.
Okay, yep, heard that one.
Yeah, and Kevin Duck there, he was late to work this day. He arrived at 10:30, and he is normally there at 8:30. That's
not a little late. That's a lot late.
Yeah.
What did he do? Did you say what he did?
I did not, because I don't know what it is.
Okay, that's fine.
So yeah, suspicious. And then a call comes from a park ranger out in the forest, and he's he's like, hey, there's a fire.
A fire.
There's a fire. It is a car, specifically the car that Duck had given to Dawna, is in the forest and on fire.
Oh my gosh!
So they
is this in the like Washita forest or something?
Yeah, that's why there was a park ranger. So by the time they get to it, it is beyond saving.
Yeah.
So they're just like, well, we'll just let it
burn,
play out, make sure it doesn't burn anything else, and
they didn't try to put it out.
No.
Okay.
No, not really. And so they wait until the flames go out, and they search through the car, see whatever they can find.
Yeah.
And they find nothing.
Nothing?
Because they assumed they were going to possibly find Dawna in there.
Right,
know?
yeah.
But no sign of her in there.
That's what I would think, too.
So they begin searching the area around the car and don't really find anything for a while. But they keep searching.
Yeah.
So they're searching for days and days and days. And about 10 days later, 10 days after the Christmas party, Kevin Duck's father, Luther Duck, he comes forward. And he's like, hey, I think if he killed her, I think I know where she is.
Oh, no.
So he points investigators towards an area near a pond, because it was where Kevin's childhood home used to be.
Oh.
And that's where like Luther raised him and all that.
Uh-huh.
And they go there, and they find Dawna's body
in the pond.
In the pond.
Wow. Was it like sunk down?
No, I think they said by like the shore.
Oh, okay.
And also it was like multiple pieces.
He dismembered her?
I don't. No.
You don't think so?
I think it was like nature doing stuff.
Okay.
Because it'd been 10 days.
Yeah, that's
out in the forest.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why I don't think he did that in a second. So the autopsy, they determined that she had been beaten, but that wasn't what killed her.
What killed her?
It was that she died of drowning.
Oh.
And so what they think is that essentially he beat her until like almost death, so in consciousness, and then threw her in the pond, and she drowned.
Oh my gosh. What a bad dude.
Yeah. So
if it's him. I guess we don't know if it's him yet. Yeah,
we don't know. I'm going to throw some doubt in a second, maybe.
Oh.
Is it a real doubt or is it a red herring? Let's find out.
Okay.
So she was naked at the time when they found her.
Gotcha.
But they do find her clothes nearby.
Uh-huh.
And they find DNA evidence on her bra.
What is it?
And they don't say what the nature of the DNA is.
Gotcha.
Which I don't know if they're keeping that close to the vest or what.
Yeah.
So they're like, all right, let's test this DNA. Let's get this sucker locked up. Does not belong to Kevin Duck.
Who's it belong to? Her son.
So they tested against the national database, and they find nothing.
Uh-huh.
And, Kevin Duck, he's like, hooray, I'm innocent. I told you.
Yeah,
I'm definitely innocent.
Shut up.
Don't even worry about it. And his story now is essentially like they left the party, went home, he went to bed, and then she was going to go back to get Doris.
Mm-hmm.
But when you consider what he told Brandon earlier, where he's like, we got home at 10:30 or 11.
Yeah.
And also he said that he was asleep and Dawna was gone when he woke up, which would imply that he knew she came back. But in this story, he's saying she never came back.
I see.
Suspicious.
Yeah. Two different stories here. Facts aren't lining up.
Always suspicious.
One of these kids don't look like the other.
So they go look at the ex-husband. I don't think the divorce is finalized, but basically going to be the ex-husband. Let's just check in on him because he apparently had sued Dawna's mother over some money issue of some sort.
Oh.
So, motive perhaps.
Yeah.
But he has a really good alibi because he was around people who were trustworthy, who knew he was where he was. Did
they compare the DNA to anybody else?
They will compare it to another person.
Okay.
But yeah, so Todd, the ex-husband, he's in the clear.
Okay.
Like even one of the kids was with him and everything.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So Kevin, he's like, oh, well, she was having an affair with the chief of police,
what?
David Flory.
What?
So he claims. And so this is a pretty big accusation.
Yeah.
They tested on him. I bet it's his. And They tested, and because the chief is like, yeah, sure, whatever, check it.
Yeah.
Ain't his.
Yeah, of course.
Or else he wouldn't have done it voluntarily, probably.
Yeah.
He'd probably been like,
you need a search warrant.
that's so disrespectful. I'm so offended. I'm not even going to give the DNA now. I would have done it otherwise.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Something dumb like that.
Stupid, yeah.
But we don't know who that DNA belongs to.
Still?
We still don't know.
Huh.
Weird, right?
That is weird. Because I was thinking, like, maybe if it was somebody, like her family that lives with her, helping fold laundry and they touch it or whatever and it, touch DNA, which might not have been a thing 10 years ago, but.
Maybe not.
Anyway.
So.
Interesting.
They then turn to the FBI who help them out with looking at cell phone records.
Uh-huh.
And they look at, what's-his-face, Kevin's cell phone.
Yeah.
They find that it was within 200 yards of where Dawna's car was burned.
Mm-hmm.
And then they find it was right next to that pond where they found Dawna's body.
Don't bring your cell phone with you.
So, with that, they arrest Kevin Duck, charge him with the first-degree murder.
Is that like capital murder?
It is slightly lower. I believe it is lower because it does not have the possibility of a death penalty.
Okay. Also, I just want to say, quick aside here, I watched something where it was talking about what's the time frame? What's that called? Things run out of the time frame.
So like limits. 48 hours?
No, limits of being charged with something.
Oh, statute of limitations.
Yes, I was watching about something about statute of limitations. And there is a statute of limitations on murders. It just depends on what count of murder. Like manslaughter, statute of limitations. Second degree and like third degree murder, I think there's statute of limitations. But like first degree capital murder, there's no statute of limitations.
Okay.
Because I know we talked about that.
Yeah.
A couple.
And I think I'd said murder doesn't have it.
But
I guess if it's first in capital.
Yeah. That's you can be charged whenever. But like second degree manslaughter, all that.
Yeah, first degree murder is like some amount of years. I think it's capped at 40 or life. Yeah. And I don't think you get parole on either of them.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay. Anyway.
And then capital murder has the possibility of the death penalty.
Yes.
Is basically how that works.
Correct.
I believe.
We know a guy.
So, the trial lasts exactly 4 days.
That's not too bad.
And he is convicted.
Good.
And sentenced to life in prison.
Good.
And as he left the court, he said to reporters, "I think y'all made a mistake." He filed an appeal, and it failed, and he's still in jail.
Yay!
So
wow. Did he didn't explain anything? He just said, "I'm innocent."
No.
What a gross guy.
And I just wonder if we're ever gonna know what the other DNA was about, because again, they say they never say what the nature of it is, like what kind of DNA.
If it's like bodily fluid, blood, you know, other stuff, spit, saliva.
Yeah, so that it's...
And maybe she was having an affair, and it was an affair partner.
Yeah, there's like some people who thought that she was like starting to date potentially a police officer and was going to leave Kevin Duck, and then she didn't. So I don't know. But that is the story of Dawna Natzke.
When I did my stories of the cases in the national parks, this is that third one I was going to cover, but then I was like, doesn't really apply, it's just that her car was found in the Ouachita, forest.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Yeah.
I guess.
Whereas the other cases, crime scenes were there. Where were they? Were there crimes?
Well, I mean, her crime scene was there.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the other two cases. Yeah. Yes, but hers was, that was a scene of a crime. So that's why I didn't do that one. Anyway, yeah, it's good. That's a good one.
Yeah, I actually came across this one separate from looking at our list.
Really?
Yeah, I was just looking at something and found this, started reading about it. I was like, that's interesting.
It is interesting.
I was about to add it to the list, and then I did Control F. Let's see if
it's there.
I was like, oh, hey.
Oh, there it is.
Neat.
Cool. I
probably skimmed past this a bunch of times without thinking about it.
You have. And I had initially started writing that episode with her in it. And I was going to start with that one, but I was like, you know what? It doesn't really fit the bill. So then I scrapped that.
Yeah, so
that's good. Lots of questions, and I wonder if they compared it to anybody in her family, that would touch or launder her clothes.
Yeah, I don't know,
because that could be an explanation.
I guess again, it's like
what's the nature
What
of the
is
demon.
this?
Yeah.
And also, was there an accomplice?
Oh, could be. I wonder if it could have been the dad. He was like,
Like, I got a good idea where it is.
It's like, why would he think of that? You know?
Yeah, I don't know.
That dude's a bad dude. You know what? I feel like Sandra Bullock in Miss Congeniality, where she's like, they're like, how, you know, what would you want for the world? And, you know, everybody's like, world peace, world peace. She's like, harsher punishment for parole violators and world peace. And that's kind of how I feel. It's like violent crimes equal harsh punishment, you know, like non-violent crimes, chance of rehabilitation there. But if you're a bad egg, you're a bad egg. You know what I mean?
It does seem like that.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
And maybe that's very black and white for me, like very, you know, very definitive. But I don't know. A bad egg, it's just a bad egg, you know? You can't fix something that's rotten on the inside.
It does feel like that sometimes, yeah.
But
right.
I do think that there are people that can be rehabilitated for sure.
Yeah.
Usually non-violent offenders, such as drugs. You know,
And also,
maybe they need rehabilitation versus jail.
Yeah, our prison system's not the best, but
No.
we'll move on from that topic.
Okay.
Because it's a
big long
bad
one.
time.
It's a big
Because
long
we
one.
have something far more fun to talk about.
What is it?
It's our famous segment, How Many Star Wars Is?
Oh my God.
Every week, I'm almost certainly looking at a Star War of some sort.
A Star War.
The question is, how many Star Warses?
Warsies?
Warses.
How many?
How many?
3.
No, Caitlin's supposed to guess.
3.
3? Caitlin's guessed 3 Star Warses. Let's look at the board. We've got... It's 3!
Yay!
It's 3 Star Warses!
What did I win?
The joy of knowing that you know how many Star Warses that I'm looking at this week.
Boy, that's not very satisfying.
It's The Mandalorian. Moving
Again?
on. Still.
Are you rewatching it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I started
okay.
rewatching it last week.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's right.
I finally started listening to The Last Command. It is the final part of the original Thrawn trilogy.
Cool.
Takes place after Return of the Jedi. Those old books from... It's weird.
Okay.
And third, the Star Wars High Republic comic book.
Yay.
3 Star Warses.
Yay. I'm happy for you. That's great.
Hooray.
Let's try this on for size for Caitlin. How many Star Wars is she reading?
Or looking at in
Or
general.
looking at or listening to or whatever. How many Star Wars is?
Let's see. I feel like he would have said something to me if you would start watching like Clone Wars or something.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess 0.
You are correct.
We're both correct about the Star Warses.
I did send you, though, that picture of... I saw a friend of mine post something on Facebook about... Oh, I deleted it. What was it? Grey Jedi.
They were saying some nerd stuff about Star Wars.
And I sent it to you, and I was like, interpret.
Yeah.
My friend Kara...
They explained everything in there.
Yeah,
The only thing I had issue with was the
Grey Jedi.
The Grey Jedi,
No
because
such
that's not a
thing.
thing.
Yeah.
George Lucas. There's some old stuff where they're like
Should we
old
have
side
one?
story
Yeah.
books and such with like, it's a Grey Jedi. He's light and dark. But George Lucas is like,
Yeah.
no, you can't do that. I'm George Lucas.
Is that really how he sounds?
Kind of.
Sounds like a big old nerd right there.
Yeah, it's a really bad George Lucas, but
You get the point.
it's in the realm of George Lucas, but he is like, the dark side is a corrupting force, so you can't just be like part light, part dark, whatever.
Yeah. I
So.
don't know. I feel like everybody's a Grey Jedi.
Some people are Sith.
That's true. This duck guy is definitely Sith.
He's full on Sith.
100% Sith.
Except I don't think he believes in the rule of 2. He seems to only believe
I don't
in
know
the
what
rule of 1.
See, yeah, they mentioned the rule of 2. I don't know what the rule of 2 is.
It's like when in Phantom Menace, Yoda's like,
You have to have a light and a dark.
No, talking about how the Sith, there's always a master and an apprentice.
Oh, okay.
They're
1-to-1
2
ratio.
there always are. No more, no less, something like that.
Oh, okay.
The idea is basically like,
Should the master be defeated, the apprentice will rise?
the master, so like the apprentice is supposed to get so strong that they can eventually kill the master and take over. And so that means by doing that, the Sith keep getting stronger. So like the apprentice becomes stronger than the master. They're stronger than the previous master. Then their apprentice is going to get stronger than them. supposedly keep climbing.
Oh.
And so Palpatine was allegedly the ultimate, or at least he believed he was.
But spoiler alert, or is he? Oh no. Anyway, that's a whole discussion.
And then he got thrown down a reactor shaft by his own apprentice.
Dun,
and there's
dun,
no way
dun.
you can come back from that,
Or
as they say in that Lego
there?
thing.
Yeah, cool. 3 Star Wars. Good job.
I did 3 Star Warses.
I have started a bunch of shows and not finished them this week. That's what I've done.
What did you start though?
They're both foreign shows. I think they're both German on Netflix.
Is one of them called
over.
Dark?
No, but I do want to start that one.
I've seen the first season. It's really
and you
good.
liked it, yeah. And it got really good reviews online. People seem to like it. But I tried Tribes of Europa, which is a new series. And
Like the moon of Jupiter?
Yeah, but
Europa?
it's not.
Oh.
It was Tribes of Europa. It's kind of a future dystopian thing. But it's from some of the people that did Dark. And I was like, okay, Andrew spoke good things about Dark. Let me try this. I made it for the first episode. I was like, I'm not interested.
So it's not on the moon of Jupiter?
No. It's on Earth.
Weird.
And then another one was Capitani, which is some kind of like murder mystery thing, but it's also German. And I was like, this acting, I just can't get past this acting. It's so bad.
Caitlin just hates Germans.
That's not true.
She hasn't gotten over World War II.
Only of the Nazi variety. Oh, speaking of Nazi, did you see where that 95-year-old Nazi living in somewhere in the U.S. was deported back to Germany?
I did not.
That was recently this week. Happened.
Wow.
95 years old. And they're like, nope, you still did terrible things.
He would have been a very young Nazi, I think.
What do you have?
How long ago was 1945? It was a while ago.
Well, my grandpa was alive during it. My grandpa was 86. He'll be 87 this year.
I don't know. We're asking myself to do math, and that's a bad time.
He was probably right around 18-ish. He was probably right around the 7.
He would have been like 15, I think.
Maybe a little bit. Well, there was that.
Well, 1940, so they took over in the 30s. Anyway.
It doesn't matter.
He
would have been pretty young, yeah. But they were like, yeah, no, you still did terrible things to a bunch of people. Because it was like they were talking about some of the crimes that he had participated in. And they were like, yeah, you got to go back to Germany. So I was like, 95, holy crap. But, I mean, if you suck, you suck.
No statute of limitations on capital murder.
That is correct. Or genocide.
Yeah. I don't know what the rules are in Germany, though. They probably
Yeah.
They might have different rules.
I'm sure they work together on that stuff. I don't know.
Well, yeah, if they extradited him.
Yeah.
They would have had to.
Anyway. What else have I been... I mean, what was that other show? Oh, yeah, Capitani was... Ugh.
I watched that Justice League trailer for the Snyder Cut.
Oh, yeah?
It looks like crap.
Oh, really?
Still.
Oh, I did watch...
It's going to be 4 hours long.
That's too much. I'd rather watch a bunch of Lord of the Rings back to back.
4 hours for a... I'm going to have to watch that in like 10-minute chunks. Because I don't think I can put up with 4 hours of Zack Snyder's garbage. And there's a part where the Joker shows up. It's Jared Leto Joker. Yeah. They made him look a little different. More like a real Joker.
Oh, cool.
But it still kind of sucks. But he literally says, we live in a society. It's like, is this a joke? Ugh. Are you doing the "we live in a society" meme as a joke, or do you think you're being actually clever?
Jared Leto
Zack
bothers
Snyder.
me. He bothers me. I did finish a show. I started and finished a show though.
What was
called
that?
Behind Her Eyes. It's
a brain.
Optic nerves. No.
Just kidding. If it's her, no brain. I did it.
Wait.
I did it.
Who has a degree here?
I did.
Who has technically 3 degrees?
Degrees don't mean nothing.
They don't?
That just means, I don't know. That makes me feel less value in a degree.
Why?
I mean, if you can get one, then who can't?
Anyway,
who couldn't do such a thing? They'd be a real loser.
Indeed. No, Behind Her Eyes. It was some British show. I think that's what it's called, Behind Her Eyes. It's new on Netflix, and it was a mystery thing, and it kind of, I don't know. It was okay. It was kind of weird. Yeah, Behind Her Eyes. I really like the actress. Her name is Eve Hewson. She plays one of the main characters. That's the actress's name. She plays Adele in there. And Tom Bateman plays David. And Tom Bateman is a Scottish hunk. Like,
it's just one of your other sex shows.
It is not sexy.
Sounds like it is.
No, but he is sexy. He is very Scottish. Oh wait, no, he's English, but he plays a Scottish guy. Anyway. Oh, look, we're the same age. How about that?
Ooh.
Oh my gosh, he's with Daisy Ridley. That's his partner.
Well,
how about that?
Too bad.
They're cute. They'd be cute together. Yeah.
Now you definitely don't have a chance.
Thanks, Andrew.
He's got somebody already.
I do too.
Unless you want to be a homewrecker.
And you're just like, definitely don't stand a chance against Daisy Ridley. You're so ugly, and she's
no,
so
I was
pretty.
saying he has somebody. It's like
she kind of does look like
I made the same joke when Gal Gadot got married or something. I was like, darn it, I guess I don't have a chance now.
So you're saying there's a chance. She does look like Daisy Ridley. Kind of looks like not Natalie Portman, Keira Knightley, doesn't she? They kind of look similar.
I mean,
don't you see it?
Didn't Keira Knightley and Natalie Portman look similar enough that they could be the same person?
In the Star Wars. Yeah,
they were Padme and Sabe.
Yeah, and
but nobody knows Sabe except for me because I read that book.
And they and that would be. Are they related? Would they be related?
Who?
Her and Padme.
No, they're not related.
If they got married, they would be. If her and Adam Driver got married, they would be related by marriage, right?
Oh, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But
yes.
Okay. But that's not going to happen because he died.
He did die.
Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it, it's your own fault.
I mean, if you cared, you would have seen it already.
Exactly. You would have been in the theater with your butt in the seat watching it at midnight like everybody else.
Yeah, that's one. It's on DVD. It's on Disney Plus. It's on
Disney
Blu-ray,
Plus.
whatever.
Yeah. You have plenty of opportunity.
If you cared, you would have seen it.
Snow. A lot of snow happened this week.
More importantly, speaking of snow and sub-zero temperatures.
Oh no!
The Mortal Kombat trailer came out.
I sent Andrew a link. I was like, oh no, I have to send this to Andrew. I saw a trailer for it. And I sent to him, and you're like, yeah, his blood. He
stabs that guy, turns his blood into an icicle knife of blood, and stabs him again.
I mean, that's pretty epic.
You
will definitely be there for that.
And they show how Jack's got his robot arms. He got them frozen off.
Whoa. I did not watch the trailer.
Oh, you didn't watch it? You should watch it. I just sent
it to you, that's all.
It's a sweet trailer. You should watch it. If the movie is as good as the trailer, it's going to be a 5-star film.
Oh.
5 stars.
And by 5, you mean 5 out of 100.
5 out of 3.
No. No.
Yeah.
It's a Mortal Kombat movie.
That first one's real good.
It is okay.
The second one's real bad, but it's so bad it circles back around.
Oh, okay.
That one does. Annihilation, it's real dumb. The trailer looks really good. And like I said, automatic 5 stars for the blood freezing knife.
That's a pretty cool trick.
It's a really cool trick. And he also freezes Jax's arms and breaks them off. And that's why he has robot arms.
You know.
You can just see that in the trailer. I think, and then Kano is in it, and he's Australian, and he has a laser eye, and he rips out.
You're gonna say lazy eye.
he rips a guy's heart out, or maybe a reptile's heart out.
Galima.
Exactly, just like that. And he's just holding the guy's heart, and just like Kano wins or whatever.
Kano wins.
I don't know what that. I was trying to do Australian.
It's Australian.
I was trying to.
John tried to do an accent the other day and was 100% New Zealand, and he was not trying to do a New Zealand accent. I was like, "What was that?"
New Zealand is like lazy Australian.
It's sharper Australian.
It's a lot. It's very mumbly. I feel like
it's very
unless it's just
linear. It's not open. It's very linear. It's like
lazy.
I'm gonna go to bed now. I've got work in the morning. Like it's all very
yeah.
Not
Maybe he did or maybe he didn't.
I'm going to go to bed now. I've got work in the morning.
Is that the only thing you know how to say? Or?
Well, that's the best one. He's like, your beard is good.
Yeah.
This is all quotes from Fly the Conchords because they are from New Zealand.
Is that on? That's probably on HBO Max.
I don't think it is.
That's messed up. It's from HBO.
I know because I went back to look for it because me and John had watched What We Do in the Shadows, which is also a bunch of New Zealand people. Taika Waititi film, and Jermaine Clement and Rhys Darby's in it, and all the good ones.
Is Matt Berry? Is that his name? Is he in the movie? I think he's in the show.
What We Do in the Shadows?
Yeah.
I don't know. Look it up. Show me his picture, and I'll tell you. But I was like, oh, you have to watch Fly the Conchords. It's the best. And I think we went to look for it. It wasn't there.
That can't be right.
What?
I refused for that to be right.
What? He is not in the movie. No.
Okay. I think he's in the TV show.
Yes, he is.
He's also in IT Crowd. And
is he New Zealand?
He's British.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I think
Matt Berry.
This was made. It was one of the New Zealand documentary, which is not real documentary, but it's
mockumentary is what they call it.
But that's the company, is like New Zealand documentary. So no, I think they used New Zealand actors. But they talked about going into Wellington and stuff, and I was like, that's a place.
Yeah, it's one of the two cities I know.
Where do you know?
Wellington and Christchurch.
Christchurch, and I knew a lot of them there for a little while. They call Wellington Wellywood.
Gross. Don't like it.
Well, it's because they have a lot of like agents and stuff there. It's like they're Hollywood kind of.
Yeah.
It's also the windiest city in the world.
Weird.
I know.
I don't want to go there then.
It's very windy.
Wind is annoying.
Wellywood.
I was in Jonesboro when they had that windstorm that one time.
I was
like
too.
80-mile-per-hour straight line wind for no reason.
And it was like, tornado damage happened.
Yeah,
and it was like just straight winds. It wasn't whirly winds. It was straight winds.
I don't think it was like whatever the speed was. I looked it up. It was
crazy.
It was like hurricane force wind, which is smaller than tornado force, but it was still enough. Like there were light poles and stuff knocked over.
It cut out power. This was when I was in LPN school. It cut out power on the campus to everywhere, and they made us like you could hear the sirens going off in town, and we had to all get into the women's bathroom, which is the storm shelter, and everybody in the building got into that bathroom, and it was very cozy. It was very scary because there was no air. We're all breathing hot, rapid air, and it's like, I can't breathe. And you could hear the doors like, boom, 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 like the outside doors.
Speaking of the HBO stuff.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the Adventure Time stuff they put on there?
No.
They put like these like two things on there. They're like
for Adventure
add-ons.
Time?
Yeah. Something Obsidian.
No.
Hold on. I'm going to look them up. Okay. I can't believe you haven't heard about this.
No, I haven't. Because I do like Adventure Time.
Yeah, that's why I was asking you about it. Let's see here.
I played the video games, the Adventure Time video games.
There's one called Adventure Time Distant Lands.
Huh.
And I think there was something else that had like Obsidian in the name.
Were they add-ons post show?
I think they're post.
Gotcha.
Not positive. I think one of them is like a lot about like the princess and the vampire lady.
Princess Bubblegum and Marceline.
Yeah, because they like each other in a special way or something.
They are. It is hinted as the show goes on that they have been more than friends before, and that they are that
buddies, if you will.
Friends.
Buddies.
Lovers. We watched Moulin Rouge.
Why?
Because boy, that movie.
Can is what you're supposed to say.
Oh my gosh! You went there. Oh, that's great.
Oh, I always go there.
Okay. No, but John had never seen it. I mean, he is, anyway, it was one of my favorite movies growing up. It was very influential. Love the music. Me and all my friends are like, yay, Moulin Rouge. And
I've heard the soundtrack. I think I've seen like most of the movie, but not all at once and not in order.
It's a Baz Luhrmann movie. So it's very, eccentric. It's very eccentric. And it's even watching it back, I was like, wow, this is kind of embarrassing because it is very out there, but it's a story about love.
Okay, so I kept saying Obsidian about the thing. That's it. So I think it's an episode. So this thing it's called Adventure Time Distant Lands. It is the collective name of 4 hour-long streaming television specials based on Adventure Time.
Oh, no.
So there's been 2 so far. One called BMO, which is the little Game Boy-looking character.
Yes.
And the second one is called Obsidian.
Okay.
And so I think, yeah. Also, BMO, I kept meaning to mention this to you. The voice actor for BMO is in Gravity Falls as a side character.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Is it a little girl?
Yeah, a girl.
Little girl named Candy.
Candy. That's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, snow. Let's go back to snow.
Okay, snow.
We got record amounts
Sub-zero.
Yes. We did
always relevant.
We did literally get sub-zero temperatures, which is insane in Arkansas.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever had sub-zero. I've had negative wind chill before.
But it was literally sub-zero temperatures with negative wind chill. Yeah. And record amounts of snow. I think
Little Rock got like 20.
Did you get that much?
roughly.
Yeah, I think it was 14 is what I measured on the table out back. But, I mean, still, that's...
And it was straight up snow. It was like, because normally...
No, it's ice.
Well, normally we get like, if we get snow, it'll be like maybe 3 inches.
Maybe, if we're lucky.
And then it'll melt a bit and then freeze.
Yes.
And then it's not cool snow anymore.
No.
We had cool snow for like 4 or 5 days.
Straight up snow. And listen, we are not used to that here. We're not built for that. And our roads definitely aren't built for that. But we made do. We did the best we could. And it was really beautiful. It was really pretty. I have not seen that much snow in Arkansas at one time ever before. I've been to Colorado and I've seen it there, but you also have ski slopes and it's nice and they're prepared for it and the roads are clear. Here, that was not the case at all.
I always think of the picture from some big snow that happened in northwest Arkansas, where it's like one side is the Missouri side and it's perfectly clear road and the Arkansas side still isn't, which we had like the opposite this time because Texas
got it bad.
Prayers for you people in Texas.
No kidding.
Like people were straight up have died from it,
which is crazy. I did see a couple people passed away in Little Rock because of the cold, but it was a handful. And
it wasn't like the whole state lost power in the same way.
I just want to clarify, this is not a political statement. This is science. Andrew just did like the oh no. Like I have people that I work with have said, oh, well, Texas lost power because of the wind turbines or whatever, which
has been proven false.
They literally have wind turbines in like Alaska and stuff.
The issue is the wind turbines weren't built to deal with the cold because they're like, oh, we don't have to.
Right. Not only that.
And also they lost gas power though too.
And every other fossil fuels, every other fuel failed. And the main reason is because Texas is a privatized, their grid, their power grid is privatized. It is not federally controlled. It is not like the U.S. is built into the West and the East power grids. I think we're a part of the West. I think we're a part of the East.
I think that's right.
Because the West looks smaller than the East. But there's 2 power grids, okay? Texas is its own power grid because they're like, we're not going to be a part of that. So guess what? They don't have to be federally controlled. They're not checked. They're not kept up to federal code. So it's all a monopoly and they can do whatever the heck they want to do. So guess what? Our power grids were mosely ready for this, not exactly, but
I never lost power.
I didn't lose power either.
Know anybody who lost power.
So Texas, their power grid failed on every level, from every fuel. So maybe we shouldn't privatize stuff that people need because then people die. Anyways,
I'll just say privatization isn't magic.
No,
people always want to privatize everything, or at least some people do. It's like, Ron Swanson was a joke, you guys. You weren't supposed to take that seriously.
And there's no checks and balance.
But there's certain things that should not be privatized. It used to be like firefighting was privatized.
What?
It's like, hey.
No.
Yeah, in ancient Roman times, they'd be like, oh no, that sure is on fire.
Would be great to have $20 and then we'll fix it.
Well, what they would do is be like, well, here's what we'll do for you, buddy. We'll buy that for super cheap while it's burning. And then we'll put the fire out, or we'll just let it burn, whichever one. It's your choice.
Wow.
So not everything should be private.
You know what's going to happen? This conversation is going to come back around in 100 years when we finally have universal health care and people don't have to die and choose between eating and living. And then people are going to be like, oh my God, I cannot believe that healthcare was privatized.
Maybe.
No, it's going to happen.
We'll see.
I'm going to call it because, God, it just sucks. Watching people, like literally people are like, I cannot afford that. Hospitals like,
or afford their medicine.
And they're like, I can't afford that. And the people are like, well, sorry about it. And it's like, okay, guess I'll die. Anyways.
Yeah, it's that old man guess I'll die meme. Except it's real life sometimes.
Except it's real life, yes. And firsthand, like people literally like, well, I guess I won't check myself into the hospital because I can't afford a $20,000 ER bill. I did see actually... It made me like want to cry. There was a lady who was hospitalized for a while with COVID-19 and she was on the vent and everything. She finally got her hospital bill. Before insurance paid it, it was like $1,339,000 and some odd stuff. Anyways, so her portion, $42,000.
Thank goodness for the insurance.
Thank thank goodness. You only have to pay $42,000. That's more than most people's yearly income. So good luck with that. Empty your retirement. I guess you'll die.
If you had any.
If you had any. Exactly. Anyways.
So.
U.S. sucks.
It does in a lot of ways.
Yes, it does. Okay. I'm off. So we got a lot of snow. Yeah. It was really pretty. Took a lot of pictures and I tried to stay inside. Except, dude, it sucked. I was on call the 2 worst nights. Back to back. And the first night we didn't get called in. Second night we got called in twice. And because I was just praying. It was so bad that day. I was just like, please don't let me get called in. Please, it's so bad. 9 o'clock, 9:30 rolls around. 9:30 p.m. rolls around. And it's really bad outside at this point. And we get a page. And I literally start bawling. And I'm just like sobbing. And John's like putting on his clothes quickly. He's like, I'm going to take you to the hospital. I was like, I can do it. I can drive myself. It's okay. I can do it. And I'm crying the whole way to the hospital because I'm terrified. Context, my mom and I were in a bad accident a couple years ago in snowy weather. It was like sleeting. The road was barely slick and we slid off the road and we flipped into a ditch. We flipped over into a ditch. It was scary. It was terrifying. I have a lot of fear in driving in this weather. And of course I get called in. And as soon as I finally get there, sobbing, my face is red, my eyes are red, and I clock in and I get into the cath lab and then one of my coworkers was there and the other one had just texted us and said, stand down. And I was sobbing. I was like, Corey, is this real? Are we have to do this? And he was like, I think we're done. I don't think we have to do it. I think it was a false alarm. And I just start bawling again. I was like, because I was really scared driving in here. And anyways, he's like, it's okay. Side hug, like it'll be okay. And then we got called in again at 2:30 in the morning, and it sucked.
Yeah, I don't have an experience of crashing, but I've come close.
Yeah, it's scary.
I don't feel confident driving in the weather that is snowy and slippery.
Yes. And our hospital is really great that I work for because they did put up a bunch of people in the hotels and stuff. Especially people, there are people that work, an hour and away that, they live an hour and away and they come here to work every day, and the hospital put them up in hotels so they don't have to stay so far and offered a shuttle service. But here's the thing. I live closer than the hotels, so it wouldn't matter, like that doesn't count when I live closer. So I have to drive in it. Anyway.
Oh well. You made it out.
I did. I didn't think I would. When we got called at 2:30, I had a bad bag packed and I was like, I'm not going home. I'm just going to find somewhere to sleep in this hospital.
Let's say, don't hospitals have places to sleep sometimes?
Well, usually, but with COVID and everything, and it was anyways. But I was like, there's no way I'm able to get home, get ready, sleep, and then come back in time. So I was like, I'm just gonna find a stretcher somewhere and just close my eyes for a little bit, and I did.
Man, yeah,
it sucked.
Today is the first day I've gotten out
in
the snow.
Yeah,
since the snow happened.
How was it driving? Was it okay?
Yeah, it's fine. The side roads still are kind of whatever.
Yeah, main roads are good.
Yeah, highway, freeway, all that stuff is
good.
That was nice and easy.
Cool.
I guess you want to talk about the WandaVision.
Well, let's talk about the WandaVision.
Hey, we're going to talk about WandaVision episode 7.
And there will be spoilers.
Spoilers everywhere. I'm going to give you like 5 seconds before we spoil everything. So
get out of here if you want to. Okay.
We'll see you next week.
They're gone.
Okay. A bunch of dummies. Why haven't they watched it?
Wait, I don't know.
Let's all make fun of them.
They're so ridiculous.
What a bunch of losers. Watch this dumb comic book show, idiots.
I did watch it. First thing, I was like texting you during it, but I didn't send that many texts because I was enamored with it the whole time. First off, WandaVision introduction. It's not Wanda and Vision. It's featuring just Wanda.
And created by Wanda Maximoff.
Yeah. Which it was had Modern Family vibes.
Yeah, the intro felt sort of office-y, and then the show itself was Modern Family.
That's exactly what I thought.
Also, every theory you saw is right. Agnes is Agatha Harkness.
You called that one?
Yeah. I wish I was like original on that. It's not like that's the theory everybody had on the internet is like Agnes is probably Agatha Harkness or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
And I liked her little, when they finally revealed her at the end of the episode.
She had a little song.
She had a little song. It was like, it's Agatha.
It was so very fun.
It was
and
good.
then just at the end, she's like, and yes, I killed the dog, by the way.
And I killed Sparky too. And she laughed.
It's like, all right, cool.
It was kind of funny. She's so good.
There's the part where Wanda is doing the talking head part.
Yes.
And then somebody talks back to her.
And she said,
like a male's voice.
You're not supposed to talk back.
Apparently, that was Catherine Hahn's actual voice, and they just lowered the thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Because they show that was her, essentially.
Oh, okay, cool. So she's directing it all.
She seems to be in control of everything. In fact, when they show the part where Quicksilver shows up, she's there.
Controlling it.
So it's like...
And
what is that?
Of course, we finally find out who it is. I look up on the internet the comic book versions of everything, and Agatha is Scarlet Witch's like mentor. She's a witch herself. Agatha Harkness is a witch herself. Was part of the Salem witches, the original witches, or something like that. She's quite powerful from what it says, and she has a son. I can't remember his name, but I asked Andrew, I was like, "Do you think this is her son?" Because apparently he has a fairly big part in the comic books as well.
I think also the rabbit that was in an episode, she called it by the name that her son goes by in the comic,
really?
Okay. I think it was that. Something like that.
So that could be him again still.
Yeah. So, but like...
I said, do you think Quicksilver is her son? But
yeah, either... I don't know if...
And that could
I don't know how much he's in on it or how much he's being controlled or what his deal is, because he's... If she's controlling when he showed up and all that.
Yeah.
But he also had all his weird stuff where he's like, don't let your husband die twice. You can't do that twice. That's silly.
Yeah.
From that other episode.
And she was like...
Yeah, she got all mad at him. Big fan of the road trip with Vision and Darcy.
Yeah.
Especially the part where it was just silly where they get to that crossroad and then she's like, and then there's a bunch of children coming across. You can't cross. Oh, there's a parade of puppies for some reason. And,
I like that. And
then there's just the part where like Vision's like,
you know what, I can
I'm
fly.
a superhero. I can just go. I don't have to do this.
So I'm very interested. And I told Andrew, like near the beginning of the episode, I was like, whenever Monica, is that her name?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's trying to get into the hex. And I was like, gonna call it now. Whatever powers gave Wanda, whatever Infinity Stone gave Wanda her powers, it's gonna alter Monica.
Where are the Infinity Stones at this point? I don't remember what they did with them.
They're destroyed.
They're destroyed?
Yeah. That's why everybody came back.
Okay.
But that's how Wanda got her powers, was through, I looked it up. It was through one of the Infinity Stones.
Yeah, her and Quicksilver.
Yes.
Though in the comics, they're both mutants.
Yeah, which is, kind of cool.
They are the children of Magneto.
Yes. I did notice that.
They even mentioned that in Days of Future Past. No, not Days of Future Past. Was it Days? Yeah, Days of Future Past, I think. Yeah, where they meet Quicksilver for the first time, the Foxman version. And, and he said something about like, my mom knew a guy who controlled magnets or something. Like, a little Easter egg.
Little thing there.
Sorts, but like one that's weird and makes no sense.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't know what I was saying.
I like that Vision gemmed the camera.
He what?
He gemmed the camera.
That's what I said. I was like, oh my gosh, that was a gem look. Breaking the fourth wall. That was the name of the episode. Breaking the fourth wall or something like that. There's
an episode of Community where Abed's doing one of his documentaries and
he does a gem.
One of the other characters does a look at the camera and he's just like, please don't gem the camera.
That's funny. Yeah, it's a really good episode. I wonder what's going to happen to her kids. We only have one episode left, don't we?
They weren't there most of that episode. And she was like, where are they and what are they? And they were called Demon Spawn or Hell Spawn by Quicksilver in that last episode.
Mephisto is the demon that Billy and Tommy actually came from in the comics. His soul splintered, and then
he also broke up Mary Jane and Spider-Man. Yeah.
Twat. But anyways, that's where Tommy and Billy, they got their soul, and then they got to build their own souls, and then they were reabsorbed when Mephisto gained power again, and then they were born off. Their souls were still about. They just needed a new body to cling to, and so they were born to people They figured out they were twins later on in life, and then they go searching for Scarlet Witch because they're reincarnated. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, comics are silly. You're right.
Yeah.
Everything you just said was ridiculous.
Well, that's what happened. Anyway.
Comics are very silly, and that's fine.
So, good episode. Oh, but anyways, Monica. I was like, I'm calling it now. Whatever stone gave Wanda her powers, it's going to alter Monica when she comes through the hex at a cellular level, and that's how she's going to turn into the next Captain Marvel. Because Monica is in the comics,
or Photon is her other name, one of her other names.
Okay, so yeah.
So unless they're getting rid of Brie Larson,
Think they will?
I don't know why they would, but
what's her name? Monica what?
Rambeau.
That's what it is.
It's spelled Cajun.
E-A-U. Yeah.
You spelled it like John Rambo when you sent something to me.
Oh, did I?
Yeah. Yeah, she's like,
let's see.
Photon, Captain
Notable
Marvel.
alias: Captain Marvel, Photon, Pulsar, Daystar, Scepter, Lady of Light, Monica Marvel, Sun Goddess, Spectrum. So whatever she is, that's how she's gonna be a new superhero. Does she have the
most names of any comic book character?
I guess.
I remember Kitty Pryde from X-Men. She's the one who runs through walls.
Yeah.
She's had like several names too. I forget what all they are, but like
Kitty Pryde.
There's like one where she's called like Sprite. And then she had some other names I can't. Oh, like Shadow Cat maybe. I might be thinking of somebody else. But
okay.
But then like at some point they just go, we'll just call her Kitty Pryde and not worry about it.
Good. Let's all just keep one name per person.
Also, Disney Plus, you cowards, put Pride of the X-Men on Disney Plus.
What is that?
It is a pilot X-Men cartoon from like either the very early 90s or late 80s that isn't very good.
Oh.
But I watched it a bunch as a kid because my cousins had a VHS and it had Australian Wolverine in it.
Nice.
And it was about Kitty Pryde. Pride was spelled Pryde.
Oh.
Pride of the X-Men.
Oh.
Yeah. And they fight Magneto on a space station and stuff. It's awesome.
Cool.
So put it on Disney Plus, you cowards. If you're willing to put on episode 3 of Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, where you have to put up the disclaimer saying, "Our bad about the racism."
Oh no.
Because it is very racist towards Japanese people.
Oh.
The main villain of the 3rd episode is a Japanese electronics inventor.
Cool.
Who wears a samurai outfit at all times.
Cool.
It's also, I've just lost the plot here, but it's. I wonder if this is like a standards and practices thing where they couldn't say like they were using swords, because there's like these samurai robots and they have what clearly look like swords and they refer to them as sonic sticks.
That's weird.
Yeah. And they also, there's a part where they put
lightsabers.
There's a part where they put headphones on Spider-Man and he's like, "I'm putting him into a sonic trance."
That's so weird.
They used to use Sonic for everything in comics. I think they weren't allowed to use too many guns and swords and stuff.
Gotcha.
Like a sonic knife.
Speaking of Spider-Man 3, the movie with Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire, yes.
I sent you that list. I was like, look at the name. I was looking for Spider-Man soundtracks on Spotify, and that one came up. And I was like, look at the name of this one. And it was like songs to listen to dance to, like Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And I laughed so... I thought it was songs to walk like Peter Parker in Spider-Man 3. And I laughed so hard because I was like, somebody literally made that playlist. And
yeah.
It was really good.
But I like my better idea, which is to just be in silence and do all of the goofy walking, dancing.
That is a great... I showed John that. John that. It's a good video.
Because
it's so awkward.
Like,
it's
just
so
think
awkward.
about how the real reality of that scene is
that's
without
what
the
John
music.
said. He was like, that's really how it was filmed. It must have been. I was like, I know, it's
basically.
So
and so it's just like,
awkward.
basically somebody just took the part from Spider-Man 3 where he's dancing around the street and being a weirdo.
Yes.
And took out the music, and it's like
so awkward.
It suddenly becomes even more awkward. It was already awkward.
So awkward.
They did the same thing with you can find one for
Guardians of the
Joker.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at least Guardians of the Galaxy, he had music. He was listening to music.
But you don't hear it.
Nah, you wouldn't. But
It
Joker,
was
that part where he dances on the stairs.
Oh yeah.
That's especially like, what are you even dancing to? And he is legitimately mentally ill and a horrible person.
Yes.
So I don't. So that's even weirder.
And you're like, that's really how it was.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, that's all I got.
Oh man, that Mortal Kombat movie looks pretty good.
We're not talking about that again.
But there was the part where he threw the spear into that dude's skull and then just dropped him into the ground.
You're excited about this, I can tell.
I'm like more excited than I thought I would be. Because I was like, this is probably going to be nothing. But I watched that trailer and I'm like, I'm in, baby. Let's go.
Violence.
They showed Goro and he's a CGI man instead of a weird puppet animatronic like he was in the first movie.
Weird.
He has 4 arms. What are you going to do?
Find somebody with 4 arms.
So, nobody.
Nobody.
As far as I know.
No, but not with 4 functioning arms, at least.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He's a big mutant man and stuff.
Oh my God, connection to the Marvel Universe.
That's right. Except they're owned by WB, so they can connect them to the DC Universe.
Oh, please don't. Oh
they
my God,
have before.
Don't. No, they have not.
There was a video game. It was Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe.
Shut up.
That's a real game that existed.
Shut up.
There was a real video game.
Ew.
On like the 360 PS3 era.
Oh, I do remember that. I remember that at GameStop. Yep.
Yeah,
anyway.
That's a real game that existed.
Well,
they could, the people who make those Justice League games, they make Mortal Kombat.
Think it'll happen again?
They could do it again if they wanted.
Ooh.
If they had any courage in their hearts.
You're like, I challenge you.
Do it, cowards.
Anyway, maybe they'll hear you, but probably not. But anyway.
If they want money, they'll do it. Just saying.
You should be in their marketing department, their idea department.
My idea is just like, do a good thing.
Do it over again.
I have a good idea. Do it.
Do it.
Remember when you did it? Do it again, but better.
Because we're better now. Anyway. All right. I think that's it. All right, guys.
I agree.
All right. So we'll wrap this up. Guys, thank you so much for stopping by. We really appreciate it. We love when you're around, and we like when you put us in your ears. You can catch us on Facebook at Paint the Town Dead. You can catch us on Instagram, Paint the Town Dead, all one word. You can catch us on Twitter at PTTDpod, and you can email us at pttdpod@gmail.com. Feel free to subscribe on anything you can, like anything you can, share anything you can, rate anything you can, 5 stars. Any positive interaction you have with us helps us out immensely, and we greatly appreciate it. We drop episodes every Tuesday, unless I'm stuck on a plane, I'm sick, unless the world tries to kill us or I get called in. Pretty much me. I'm the problem.
I was starting to worry about the snow situation.
I was too, but you know what? We did it. We timed it perfectly. So good job, Andrew. I've been Caitlin. That's been Andrew. And we have been Paint the Town Dead. We'll see you guys next week.
Mortal Kombat. Yeah.
Goodbye.
Finish it.